Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to some more Higurashi When They Cry. Let's continue with the phone ringing. Kano sniffled once and picked it up.
Takano yo. So, wakatta wa. Ima sugu iku wa.
Takano stood up as she put down the phone.
R が発見されたわ。入江の発信機の反応も一緒。街道が封鎖されていることを知ってて、山中を徒歩で脱出するつもりのようね。山狩りには手こずりそうだけど、人目がないのは私たちに好都合だわ。
That's just what you think.
じゃあね、二郎さん。なんとなく、これがあなたとできた最後のおしゃべりになるような気がする。
I doubt it.
最後に、あなたから言葉がもらえなくて、残念よ。
And still, Tomitake stayed silent. Takano ran out of the room. She didn't look like she was hurrying back to work.
連中ははじめ、近くの山中に出現し、村中に出たようです。村人に接触して助けを求めようとしたのかもしれませんが、偵察車両の1台が逃走者の一部と R を発見、追跡。
I wonder if they did that on purpose to get their attention and make it seem like that Irie was with them by
一時期
tracking.
R と発信機は別行動しましたが、地図の山中で合流しました。
チリジリになったのが合流できたということ？
ええ。連中は逃走路について十分な打ち合わせをしてやがったんちゅうことでしょうな。山の中なら地の利があると踏んでやがるに違いない。ブッシュが深ければ武器の効果は激減する。あの空手野郎の考えそうなことですね。
Karate guy. Okanogi was determined to catch them this time. He kept saying how he was simply caught off guard there before.
今度はもう逃がせないわよ。ひなみ沢でならともかく、沖宮に入られたらもうどうにもならない。
わかってます。向こうに地の利がある山中とあっちゃ、こちらも躊躇したらアウトですわ。全力投球でいきましょう。全般で包囲圧殺します。聞こえてるな、全般。こいつはサッカーだ。
Ah, yes. Rifle soccer.
敵はゴールエリアに侵入してる。ゴールは沖宮だ。絶対に許すな。特にあの空手野郎だ。あいつは許さねえ。俺の獲物だ。
Definitely not bearing a
絶対に
grudge.
仕留めてやる。大鳥了解。ウグイス了解。ヒバリ了解。白鷺了解。行くぞ。山犬の総力戦だ。
All units?
こいつがしくじれば、うちらは積まれてゲームオーバーだ。
その通りよ。もう後がない。私も出て陣頭指揮を取るわ。富武はここに置いていっても大丈夫？
大丈夫ですね。
Oh?
完全武装の保安隊員が8人もおりますね。その倍の完全武装兵が来てもしのげます。
That's what you think.
それよりも問題なのは、あの空手野郎です。奴を侮ることはできませんぜ。
Because what if it's the karate guy that comes after the security guards? Anyway, security unit guarded the basement of the Irie Institute, which was the heart of the organization. Therefore, they were armed more heavily than anyone else in the Mountain Dogs. Okanogi's confidence in the security unit and his newfound obsession with defeating Akasaka made the diversionary plan a success. But at the same time, that meant that the decoy club members would have to deal with the full force of Mountain Dogs. In the mountains! The dogs' white vans ran through the village. While they couldn't fire shots outside, all members were carrying stun guns that fired electric needles. While poor on range, They could subdue a target instantly. With a flip of a switch, they could change between merely stunning or killing their target. The perfect weapon for people like the mountain dogs. The man separated into groups and headed for the mountains. They were planning to surround their enemies and then smoke them out.
隊長、前半作戦開始位置に到着しました。
But
さすがに展開が早いぜ。サンサ、全班にありがたい訓示を頼みます。
高野よ。R だけは生かして捕らえること。他は殺してしまっても構わないわ。この山から逃がしてはダメ。この山で今日の戦いすべてに決着をつけるのよ。
ウグイス、ヒバリ、白鷺、山狩りを開始しろ。大鳥はゴールキーパーで予備兵力を務める。緊急展開が可能なように常時待機しろ。
just imagining the villagers seeing all the gardener fans leaving, going, must be a massive order for gardening on the day of the festival. Anyway.
大鳥7、了解。
さあ、おっ始める。
The mountain dogs started marching, spreading out in a line with a few meters between them. I don't suppose they brought any dogs with them, did they? Probably not. This mountainside was a savage land where not even the villagers would dare tread. You know, no, because they know about Sadako's traps. There were some trails, but no paved roads for human beings. It required an enormous amount of diligence and patience to hunt on a mountain like this. All the dogs were very nervous. They were told that most of their enemies were children, but there were a few well-trained adults with them as well. And a few well-trained children while we're at it. In addition, they were supposedly armed quite heavily and they knew the layout of the train quite well. It was obviously going to be a tough battle.
おこのぎ、山狩りってのは普通、どのくらいの人数がいるの？
一概には言えませんが、多ければ多いほどいいでしょうな。
Yes. And with the underbrush, I can't go back to the previous scene, but with the underbrush, it would be possible for them to hide in that and not necessarily be noticed. And they could have a sweep go right past them.
山犬の人数じゃ全員集めても全く足りません。
でも向こうも少人数なんだから、そう不利な条件じゃないでしょ。
Exactly, it's a small group of people rather than a large group of people. A large group of people will be much more noticeable.
ほらよく言うじゃない。
And you have to spread your own resources out thin.
守備を崩すには3倍の兵力がいるって。
I mean, it depends on the defense, but sure. Other cases, I think it's... yeah, it depends what kind of era you're in, but then again, that's kind of just depends on the defense you have and what can be used for offense. Normally, it'd be 10 to 1, I think, for a fortress. In any case.
こっちはさらにその倍以上いるんだから。
There are leaders that have defeated armies of 10 times their size because they forced their enemy to split their forces or spread out and then defeated them one by one. What's called like divide and conquer in a way.
まあ、数万の兵力の場合ならそういう数式になるでしょうが。
And any force that's trying to sweep the mountain is quite literally spread thin. Doesn't work in smaller scale battles. And yeah, it does also depend on, to some degree, on the quality of the people involved. Especially with smaller groups, individual quality becomes more of a overall factor. Meanwhile, with larger groups, you can sort of generalize more. There's less variation. The US Armed Forces pre-Watem in the Vietnam War, so that's also true.
なら今回の山狩り、おこのぎはどれだけの兵力がいると見てるの？
何でもありってことでですか？
何でもありって意味がわからないけど、どのくらいが適正な兵力なの？
今朝の政治的奇襲も含めて向こうの指揮官は相当優秀です。そして火器取り扱いのベテランが最低2、近接格闘のベテランが最低1。
そこまでは認めるけど、あとは所詮子供でしょ？
あとは子供のようですが、多分ここに逃げ込んだからには彼らのテリトリーでしょう。地の利が十分な子供一人はよく訓練された強襲偵察隊一個小隊に匹敵しますんで。サンサが考えてますより相当厄介な相手ですわ。
それを制圧するのにどの程度の兵力が必要だっていうの？
山岳歩兵が一個師団。ああ、師団ってのは山犬が3つ4つくっついて大隊、そいつがさらに3つ4つくっついて連隊、そいつがさらに3つ4つで師団ですね。
30倍の兵力が必要だというの？
もちろんそれだけじゃ足りません。砲兵陣地に要請して山ほどの事前砲撃が必要ですわ。航空支援が得られるならファントムにナパームもばらまかせたいところですね。
冗談じゃないわ。そんな兵力ここにはないわ。じゃあそれにはるかに満たない山犬で山狩りをしたらどうなるっていうの？
まあ楽じゃないでしょうな。
Okonogi laughed boldly. He said it wouldn't be easy, but he also seemed to be implying that he was the only one capable of doing it.
連中のテリトリーでしょうが、逃げ込んだのはついさっきです。陣地もなけりゃトラップ設置の暇もないはずだ。
Sure.
地の利を生かすには時間が足りないはずです。
As Takano listened to Okonogi's explanation, she felt a little anxious. When she pretended to be friendly with Sadako a long time ago, she used to tell Takano all about her mountain. Takano remembered how Sadako told her about all kinds of traps she had set up, but she couldn't recall which mountain Sadako was talking about.
ヒバリより本部、標的の一部を発見。R は視認できない。現在追跡中。
人質にできれば十分よ。R がいなくても捕らえて。
ウグイス、聞こえるか？近隣の班を応援に回して退路を立て。
ウグイス了解。バックアップする。
Are they just like mannequins or something?
そりゃそうだよね。退路を立ちたいよね。
Huh? Some fallen trees were leaning against a much larger pine tree, forming a natural scaffold. A small hut made out of plywood had been built on top of them. Okay. I guess. It was one of Sadako's many secret bases. It was in a perfect spot, since Mion could see the foot of the mountain well.
すごいね。みーちゃんの予想通りだね。さて、我が部にどの程度叶うか、お手並みを拝見しようかね。レナたち、勝てるかな？なーに言ってんだか。向こうの指揮官は無能だね。
Oof.
私たちを攻めるなら山岳訓練をし 終了したベテラン歩兵が1個師団はいるね。それをせいぜい中隊規模でとはね。未熟にも程があるよ。さーて、何人が私たちを相手にしてこの山を無事に降りられるかな。
Just how severe are Sadko's traps? Never mind, I already know the answer to that question.
クソだれひばり4攻撃を受けた。クソ逃がすな。丸太を山ほど転がしてきやがった。ひばり6が捻挫で追撃不能。残りで追撃する。
逃がすなよ。追って追って追いまくれ。休ませるんじゃねえ。
ひばり11トラップによる攻撃を受けた。ひばり12、13が多分脳震盪。あんなの当たりどころが悪かったら死んでるぞ。ひばり60トラップにやられた。光線が足に絡まって脱出できない。ナイフじゃ切断できない。番線カッターを持ってきてくれ。
Chaotic radio transmissions came in one after another. Obviously, Okanagi had been wrong about the mountain dogs being in an advantageous position.
ウグイス戦より本部。クソったれが井戸を偽装した落とし穴だ。隊員2名が閉じ込められて救出不能。応援を送れ。やべ。どうしたウグイス戦。応答しろウグイス戦。ウグイス戦だ。やられた。俺を後ろから突き飛ばしやがった。ウグイス9から11は井戸内。健在なれど脱出不能。くそ。本部よりウグイスバックアップが奇襲を受けた。行動が読まれているぞ。注意しろ。
ウグイス1だ。聞いていいか。どうして動きが読まれるんだ。上空に無人機の影はないぞ。
ひばり湾より本部追跡に失敗。見失った。無理だ。この山はトラップだらけだぞ。この距離を追うだけで何人負傷しちゃってんだ。
白鷺湾より本部 R を含む数名を発見した。追跡している。至急応援を送れ。
連中め、か乱してトラップで絡め取ろうってんだな。
I can just imagine Rika standing on top of someone stuck in a trap, just going, Nippa!
白鷺湾、用心しろ。向こうはお前らをトラップ地帯におびき寄せるつもりだ。敵は各個に分散し、陽動と奇襲のゲリラ戦術で抵抗してくる気だ。高度だぞ。すでに他班でトラップとアンブッシュで負傷者が多発している。用心しろ。気合い入れてかかれ、白鷺湾。ん？白鷺湾。
I was just about to say, imagine while he's saying this, they've already been caught in a trap.
白鷺2より本部白鷺湾がトラップに。誰か班長を吊るしてるロープを切れ。
To be honest, I was half expecting it to happen. Like, be prepared for anything. Ah! What?
残りは追撃しろ。 R を逃がすな。
ウグイス1より本部ウグイス7たちが沈黙した。襲撃にあった可能性が否定できない。応援を送る許可を。
白鷺5隊員3名が上空から降ってきたドラム缶の直撃を受けて混沌した。何なんだここは。こんなのがまだまだあるってのか。
ひばり13だ。やられて倒れてたようだ。あ、今一人発見した。追跡する。やろう。
よせ。やめろひばり13。お前が一人で叶う相手じゃない。
お兄さんこちらですわよ。
クソガキが待ちやがれ。
Skylark 13 chased Sadako with an enraged snarl on his face, but Sadako ran through the woods effortlessly. Small branches scratched his body all over, but he continued to chase Sadako. Sadako ran like the wind. To her, she was simply running in her own backyard. Who would get injured in a place like this? Like that? A skylark ran after her. He passed many mountain dogs who couldn't even move because of Sadako's traps. The more of his trapped fellows he saw, the more he wasn't sure if the girl he was after was really a girl. She was just something that looked like one. He reached an area where logs were stacked up in piles. It seemed like the trees in the area were being chopped down. It was a rather strange scene. On his way there, Skylark 13 saw a member from a different unit hanging upside down from a tree. He also saw feet sticking out of a pitfall. There was a member whose foot was tied to the root of a tree with a device that looked like a pair of handcuffs. He reached this area after seeing all of them. He suddenly started sweating all over his body. Skylark 13 realized he had been lured into a trap. He'd been caught in a snare. She tricked him. Is he an imbecile? The girl was standing in the middle of an open area, calmly balancing on a stump. She was simply looking at him. Shit, he thought. She's trying to lure me in.
Hibari 13だ。一人を広場みたいなところで追い詰めた。捕まえてやる。捕まえてやる。
Remember, everyone apart from R is, like, you can kill.
こちらウグイス7。お前のそいつは少女じゃない。少女の姿をした悪魔だ。そいつの後を追えば地獄まで誘い込まれるぞ。
本部よりひばり13、それで十分だ。応援を待て。今そこに最寄りの隊員を向かわせている。
どうなさいましたの？私を捕まえたければあともう10メートルくらいは歩く必要がございますわよ。
Oddly specific there. It was only 10 meters. If you walked about 10 meters, you could catch that brushy little girl. How many steps did you have to take to walk 10 meters? If you took 10 steps to walk 10 meters, that meant there would be 10 more chances of stepping on a trap. But it was only 10 steps. Or, you know, you have a gun? Or at least a stun gun, right? You can catch her after just taking 10 steps.
そう思いならまずは最初の一歩を踏み出してみればいいではございませんが。ほらほら。
Okay, bits in the comments right now. Say how many steps you think he's going to be able to make before he reaches the trap. My guess is 1. However, I would put my bet on it being the last step that he gets trapped on. Just because Sadako is taunting like that. How is he going to take his first step? The area with weeds looks suspicious. With the bare ground looks suspicious too. What if you jumped into a tree stump? Or onto a tree stump? No, that was what you wanted him to do. Cold sweat was dripping off of Skylark 13's body. He only needs to take 10 steps. You know, there is one other possibility I didn't consider. Taking no steps leads him to a trap. So why was he so nervous about taking the first one?
ひばり13。
From what I can see, the tree stumps look
切
okay.
り株だ。よせひばり13。さっき根っこで足を縛られてたウグイス8だ。切り株はきっと罠だ。辺りは切り株だらけというのがうさんくさい。聞こえるか、ひばり13。
There are too many stumps there, and that looks suspicious. That isn't exactly not coincidence. If they're in a plain kind of area or field with a couple of trees, and it looked like they'd been cutting down the trees, you can't exactly just choose to place tree stumps by themselves out of nowhere close together.
武士は危険だ。草むらは踏むな。むき出しの土もやばい。
くそったれ。どこを踏めばいいんだよ。空を飛んでけってのかよ。
Yes.
まだいらっしゃいませんの？ 私退屈ですから。
Well, let's be honest. Chances are all of us are actually trapped.
こちらスマキにされて転がっているウグイスないんだ。今標的の一人にその頭を蹴られている。そこはトラップフィールドだと言ってるぞ。え？その待ち構えてる小娘の最高傑作が設置されているらしい。油断するな。
You've got to be kidding me. Did he say magnum opus? What does he mean by magnum opus? What about all the other traps? Aren't they a magnum opus? We mountain dogs professionals. We're paid to engage in battle. If this little girl is playing us like fools, can we not beat her? Can't we beat that brat? This must be a bluff. How is it possible for a trap to exist that's worse than what I've seen so far? It's a bluff. It must be a bluff. Now I'm definitely going to get her. Should I start with my right foot? Or my left? The girl suddenly lifted her hand and thrust it at me. Is she trying to tell me to stop?
ゴッホですわ。
Oh?
何？
何事もなくゴッホを無事に歩けたらあなたの勝利ということでいいですわよ。
ほほう、それは大した自信じゃねえか。もし俺がゴホ何もなく歩けたらどうするつもりだ？
そうですわね。私の敗北を認めて降参して差し上げてもよろしくってよ。私今日は最高にトラップ脳が絶好調ですの。あなたをゴホで絡め取ってご覧に入れますわ。
クソガキ！
落ち着けヒバリ13。挑発に乗るな。
そいつは悪魔だ。外見に騙されるな。そいつは人の心を読むぞ。俺たちの叶う相手じゃねえ。
本部よりヒバリ13、深追いするな。
I mean, really, there's no reason why all three options can't be trapped.
十分だ。近くまでウグイスが応援に来ている。その場で耐えろ。
それじゃ俺の負けってことじゃねえかよ。ゴホだとゴホだとくそ、乗ってやるぜ。ゴホだな。たったのゴホだな。
Who cares about losing, really? When trying and failing is going to leave you in a bad situation, while waiting for backup means that you won't have that worst case scenario.
男が何度もくどいですわね。愛のささやき以外は男は一言で十分ですね。
このガキャー！
ヒバリ13、読まれるぞ。劇場は思考を読まれるぞ。
落ち着け。クールになれ、ヒバリ13。そうさ、俺はヒバリの13番。ミントみたいにクールなのが通りえさ。だから熱くならずによく考えろ。そうさ、俺の思考はすでに絡め取られていた。奴に向かって5歩進まなければならないって時点で思考を絡め取られてたぜ。
ほほう、それはどういう意味でございますの？
Ah, ha, 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 ha. This is what it means.
前じゃねえ。後ろに5歩歩くんだよ。
If by that he means he'll take 5 steps back and then take 5 steps forward and then say that he took 5 steps forward so she should surrender. Okay. If he means it literally, and I mean, if he doesn't hit a trap in the meantime, oh, he's an idiot. I did it. I was certain it was a trick. If I take 5 steps, I win. She didn't say I had to move forward. I can go backwards too.
だからあなたは5歩でおしまいなんですのよ。
Where did that even come from?
ひばり13沈黙
Dear. Well, in any case, I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments, and until next time. I didn't think of -5 steps being one of the options. In any case, see ya.